Well, hello there, everybody. I thought I'd let that kind of bring in the introduction. And wow, that is a piece by Zanna Blasi. Um, actually, the book we're about to get into, she contributed heavily to. And hello, Jules. Prosperity is over. We turned an 80 into $15,000 overnight. How's that for? Whoa. Well, Jules, high five for you, girl. Way to go. You got to let us know what is happening on that. And wow, fantastic. That is just fabulous. You've got to let us know. That's all I got to say. And I'm doing it through five different screens, and I'm going, keep up, Steiger. All right, here I am back live. So way to go, everybody. Jules, that is just freaking fantastic. I expect more stories like that, more testimonies. Things are happening. And this angel, Ariel, wow. Little things on her. So first, favor to everybody. Favor means you're empowered to prosper. Not bad, isn't it? I mean, you walk up to somebody and say, hey, you're empowered to prosper. What are they going to do? Hate you? It's like, okay, thanks, man. So nothing missing, nothing broken. BOSTO, be of service to others. And happy birthday and happy anniversary. Thank you for everyone for the overwhelming. Y'all are just so kind. Lynn says to give you a big hug and thank you so much. So, hey, there you go. Well, Teresa, I wrote you back, dear, and I am right there with Vicky. And actually, I have surrounded her with angels, lots of them, because that's what they're there for. So, hello, Gaia. Much love to you. Loretta, David Castle, much love to you, brother. Linda, Brandy, you're a fine lady. Let's see what else happening. Thank you for everyone who tuned in last night. I want to get first because this is the most important. We are on a 11-day group manifestation experiment, and it's already worked. I mean, wow. That's just fabulous. And you see, all things are possible to those who believe. If you believe anything's possible, then everything is possible. So hello, Susie Q. How you doing? Isby, hello. Good to see you. Delaney and Elderberry. So a little thing. So these are Nathan's 72 Archangel coins. Our sound, remember? How many are hearing that? When I think of the soul tribe, this is what I'm hearing now. It's what I hear in the back of my mind. Anyway, so here is Ariel's coin, as you can see, and Nathan does fabulous work on these. If you can afford it, it's well worth it. It's and there is exactly what we see when we look. Let me show you here. Same thing. So there it is, as you can see. Get the camera. There we are. Now, there's an interesting meditation technique that in these cards that comes with this. So there's a purpose here. Continue just to stare at Ariel and see yourself as a bolt of lightning or light coming down upon you and covering you and returning back up from where it's coming from. And you just think Ariel and just look at whatever Ariel is to you, male, female, maybe neither, maybe none, maybe all. The sigil, that's the portal opening. Now, when I read this book that comes with this, it's quite interesting. So, and I tried this morning. It's really interesting. So what you do is that you would get into a place where you can literally just kind of meditate, holding the angel's sigil to your activating of your third eye, like as such. And this morning it was really interesting because it literally stayed on. I mean, here I am doing some invocation work, and wow, this thing just stayed on. And it's really interesting because according to, and I can dig this, sigil symbols all have power. People wear, billions of people wear a sigil called a cross. Yeah. So this is Ariel. Ariel to me is, I have more of a feminine appeal to it, but you know, again, that's the great thing about angels is that they're, yeah. Anyway, so in the book, there comes this card that has even more attributes of Ariel. And by the way, the psalm for Ariel, when you're doing the invocation, I love this one, is 38:21. Don't forsake me, Adonai. My God, don't be far from me. And you can learn to speak that in the Hebrew and sing it. In fact, you should just go ahead and sing it anyway. These angels love when you sing to them. They really do. It's quite amazing. And with Ariel, she's also the angel of revelations, patron of mediation and people gifted with clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. Promoter of secrets and hidden knowledge. Teaches how to enhance psychic abilities and revolutionary perceptions. Wow. I could really get into a revolutionary perception. I mean, seriously, folks, that is like, how freaking cool is that? Man, I mean, if don't you just want to give that angel a hug and say, lay it on me, baby, come on. I love that. Woo. Helps us to learn about the spiritual world. I mean, we're getting a full package here, folks. Provides with visions, revelation, and dreams. Allows us to interpret and understand symbols. Wow. Omens and signs. Shows how to be respectful and tactful individual. Hey, we all can use a little tact, right? Symbol of perceiving. Wow. Bestows us with a higher level of reflection, brings us innovative ideas, solution, and inventions, fills us with energy to discover the nature's secrets, shows how to find the lost objects and hidden treasures, teaches how to discover philosophical secrets about our lives, allows us to understand our attraction to the spirit and occult. Is this our angel or what, folks? This is our angel. I mean, I believe this angel reached out to me and said, hey, I'm available. Put me to work. Let me show you my stuff. All right. Brings gratitude and acknowledgement. Protects from fortune telling abilities which are used with bad intentions. Keeps away from false thaumaturgs, teachings. Liberates from tribulation. Oh, freaking yes. How about this one, folks? Liberation from tribulation and adversity. Is this not our angel? I mean, come on. Cures indecision, hesitation, and timidity. Heals sorrow, grief, and anguish. Helps and stimulates in situations like lack of creativity, pain, black magic, lack of spirituality, spiritual delusions, doubts, divinations, and irrational behavior, and helps with mental illness. Wow. Her best times, by the way, and her class of, well, I call her, so bear with me. Ariel is in the choir of powers. Isn't this interesting at all? The governing archangel is Michael. The tarot is the Six of Cups. The Chaldean sign is the Decan rulers, is in Scorpio, the sun. And its element is modality, fixed water. Perfect times on the physical level to connect is November 3rd, November 12th. The second decan of Scorpio. Best time to reach this angel is between 3 and 3:19 p.m. That's a pretty convenient time. On an emotional level, this angel is easily brought in on February 22nd, May 6th, July 20th, October 3rd. So we got a date coming up here, October 3rd and December 14th. Wow, this is pretty cool. So, boy, I left that up long enough, didn't I? Wasn't my intent, but hey, you go with the flow. That's what I always say. So this is where we are at. We are at day 2 of the group experiment, which is pretty groovy. So we're about prosperity mindfulness. Prosperity covers not just the physical, not just the spiritual, not just the soul realm. It's all the realms. Prosperity. Yeah, we've discussed that. I am prosperous. You are prosperous. The soul tribe is prosperous. We prosper. The prosperity is one as a group together. And the last count I had, we were at 55. 55 people are joined in this that have sent me emails that I have. There may be others, but 55 that I know of, which is pretty cool. So here we are. So just think and say out loud for the next 11 days. I won't be here on Saturday and Sunday, so you'll have to do this. The Soul Tribe, and I think it's up over on Discord. David Barry, if you're hearing this, and email me later and I'll put the link in there. The Soul Tribe is prospering. I'm in prospering. We all are prospering together. And what we have is just simply think of Ariel. In this case, I would sing the name of the angel. They really dig it. They really do. You're going to find out here. They really dig that. And why not? They're very musical creatures. They really are. And just think of Ariel and just call upon Ariel. Think of her name 3 times. That's what I do. I call her again. It's just like Ariel, 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 like that. You see, that got that angel's attention. They love. And what I was told is that you'd be surprised how few human beings actually sing to angels. You find out how fewer even sing their names. So there we go. This is day 2. I think of this for each and every one of you. As I said, I have the Soul Tribe deck, and it's that point of contact. We got it. And these coins are really cool. I mean, they are a point of contact. Now, Jules, I had told you about the angel Rochelle. This is the angel of restitution. This is the patron of the realm of justice. If you're in a legal situation, anything to do with judges, magistrates, anything like that, this is the angel to call, because it brings support to you, which is really kind of cool. And that was really strange. There is nobody in my house, but someone just knocked on the door. Well, come on in. That's what I say. If you got enough ability to knock on a door to make physical pressure sound, hey, who am I? And then the other angel is, and Teresa, this is, I thought, for Vicky as well, Muamaya. This is the angel of endings and rebirth. This is the patron of people who have exceptional receptivity to and mystical experiences, protectors of people having psychic abilities, helps you finish what you have started, helps bring in new forms of existence. Goes on to say that it accompanies those in basically making the transition from the old to the new. And that's what is really interesting. And this angel has a lot more. So there we go. And the last one I want to point out is the angel. And this angel is up on my A list right up over there. This is the angel Alada, Aladiah. And this is the angel of divine grace. And what is grace? Grace is another word for favor. I love this. Patron of intuitive and innocent people. Call upon this angel if you're where you're being attacked. Jules, that's for you. It's a protector of prisoners, underprivileged, disadvantaged souls, and allows to be re-immersed back into society and live the abundant life. I can go on with this one, but anyway, cool stuff, folks, isn't this? I mean, this is really cool stuff. I love the 2 thumbs down. Isn't that great? See, people don't like prosperity, man. They don't like it at all. You'd be surprised how many people repel prosperity, and they don't like others prospering. It's not fun. And anyway, we thank you that it's this affirmation and confirmation that we are on the right road. So I think I can play this now. So give me 1 second as he goes up here. So give me 1 second because I wanted to bring this out, and I think it's number 4. So we heard what happens when you have kind of an angel bringing in inspiration. I think many angels gives us, let me get this right. Okay. This was another one. This is, so there's no other explanation for it except. Okay, I think you can actually hear this one because I can see it into my monitor, which tells me that, yes, you, the audience, can actually see it, and which is kind of cool. All right, so I tried to play this with Trina, and for some reason, it didn't work. So I want to give 2 small examples of recordings. And again, I sent this to someone. I actually had someone actually put it on a soundboard. And in the second video is one that they couldn't tell how many voices was in it. But so, and I think this, yeah, you can hear it. So as we listen to this, you can hear the background to this. And there we go. And you can hear very clearly that it's hallelujah. And into that stanza. And then you hear this voice come in, and it's interesting because the voice is obviously wasn't a real person. And I think you can hear this. I can see it in here in my monitor. So can't hear it. All right, people say they can't hear it. Okay, that's interesting. It works all the time except when this group gets together. But my point is this, is that music is something that these angels do. And I have heard them before. I have seen them before. And it's quite spectacular when you're in the presence. And, you know, typically it's in where there's intensity, focus, and that's what praise does. You know, when you're in whether you're around with a group that's just singing, you know, amongst yourselves, I don't know. I guess they still do that. We used to do that. People still get together with campfires and, you know, I don't know. It's a good question. But here's the point. When there is this emotion brought up by the singing, that is an intense opportunity to really use magic. And these angels dig it. They like, listen, they've been around for a very long time. If there's an instrument, and we ain't the ones who invented the electric guitar, they know how to play it. They've had lots of time learning how to play it. And so I wanted to bring this book, and D. Chill sent this, and I thought this was really nice. This is kind of in the Magick Angel series, the same group here. And by the way, you know, the book here, this has become my true markup book. And I want to tell you what my wife and I are finding all over our house. We are finding these. We're finding feathers everywhere. And I mean all different kinds of feathers. I wanted just to show that to everybody. It's really getting interesting. We opened up the front door and the feather was inside the door. So I don't know. All right. So this is called Music, Magic, and Angels. In this book, it basically brings out the fact that if you start using music in your communication to the angelics, there is some serious power here. It generates these huge amplitudes of energy. Once you open up the communication portal, you start adding music to it. Wow. So enough of me talking. Let's just check this out. Again, D. Chill, thank you for sending the book. I'll get through the early preliminaries of this. So Music of the Angels. In several of his books, he says, I've recommended that when calling to angels, it can help to sing to the angels. Singing isn't always required, and some people feel too self-conscious to do this, and they still get the results. But the angels hear a singing voice. Angels are intimately connected with music. As for why that is the case, we can only guess. But this author believes, and this is Damon, I believe it's because angels work with emotions. It is a strong part of their task as messengers to understand our emotions from the past, present, and possible futures. When we speak a request to an angel, it is the emotional undertones and the emotional shifts that take place in magic that guides the angels to bring the results we ask. We're asking prosperity. And I don't know a person around that isn't like saying, yeah, I can use some of that. Yeah, we all can. We've read the 72 Angels of Magick, which we know where he recommended singing to the angels, singing their names as you call them. You may wonder why a book such as Archangels of Magick doesn't mention singing. In each book, I provide what you need to get the magic working and no more. For the Archangels book, singing isn't required, but it is an option. And as you learn more about magic, you will find that you start to blend techniques. You don't have to, but you might. I have. I'm using my own techniques into these others because I don't know, it's fine to show me what math can do, but allow me to use the math to my own creativity. That's my point. A few people wrote to the website when it was still open to comments. They said they were singing the archangels' names and found it helped. It does. It brings their presence in. It does. I sang a whole song to Ariel today. And intense. That's the best thing I can say. It's intense. The air is charged. It's wonderful. This makes complete sense to me, but because it's not an essential technique, it's not in the book. Magic is flexible, but archangels have an extremely powerful connection to sound and music, And I believe that has been expressed in Zanna's work. And go online. She has her YouTube channel where you can, I don't know if it's her specifically, but it has her music. I went on to Amazon and bought the album, downloaded it, was playing it in the background, and it does have an interest. There are a few that, all right, but there's a couple that, the ones that I was playing in the intro here, that is called Opening to the Angels, opening our minds to them. But anyway, it says, if you've read anything about angels, you will know people often hear beautiful music when in the presence of an angel. Music is about emotions and meaning, and so are angels. It is widely believed that angels are messengers. They understand the reality of our desires through our clearest and deepest emotions. I don't need to say much more than this for it to be obvious that angels and music are deeply intertwined. And it is a little wonder that somebody like Zanna, with such an interest in music and magic, would be drawn to finding a way to make a connection. She has resistant to the idea for many years after it was first occurred to her. But when the time was right, she opened herself up to the angels. The first album, The Echoes of Angels, that's one I have, was extremely well received. And she was told some beautiful stories of how it had calmed, healed, and made people feel great peace. With opening to archangels, her aim was more direct and more magical. Although you can just listen to the music, she requested that the angels provide her with music that would complement the magical methods we use for obtaining contact with them. Oh, come on, folks. This is Gnosis. This is what you're here for. You're here for the occult knowledge. Soak it up. If you've never read our books or worked with angels, this may sound extremely strange or far-fetched. And if so, I urge you to think of it merely as inspiration. And in many ways, that is what it is. You know, I was in theater for a while, way back in my youth. But I remember our teacher, how he got us into beginning to build into character mode. We would do these imaginary exercises. Each person would do their own. You would be expressing yourself as love, as anger, as a bird. You know, the point is that you begin to open yourself up to the flow of creativity. Angels, I'm finding out, really dig the creativity. They really do. I mean, could you imagine if it was just, oh God, here comes another damn human. Same old crap. Who's going to take this one? No. I want them to say, hey, now that's a group I can get with, like Ariel did. Loves this group. Why? Because this is one deep, broad, hidden, creative group. We're masters in this. She said it is Zanna's long experience in the music industry in the background and of other projects, as well as her willingness to throw many conversations aside and a degree of creative courage. You hear that? Someone needs that. You have that creative. Get bold about it. That has led to this music being produced. Although Zanna composed the music based on the inspiration of the angels, it's important to note that she was the composer much of the time. The angels inspire and guide. They didn't write the music for her. Equally, much of the music includes improvisations in a state of magical trance while in direct contact with angels. The music was composed in real time. This led to enormous technical challenges, as well as challenging of performing magic in the presence of technicians who may have thought that this was all a little strange. If any of you have been in a recording studio, you know this is impressive. I mean, come on. I worked in the industry and I know what this is impressive to actually produce, to be doing magic when you're in a recording studio with the technicians and engineers looking through the glass window. This is fabulous. Normally, you would write the piece, record the strings, other instruments, you know, it's called stacking, blending. and then improvise over the top of that and improvise live while the background music is performed. But here, in some cases, Zanna had to work in reverse, finding the chords and rhythms that would match the improv sounds that drive the music, and then guide the rest of the performers to follow the lead of an improvised music that was now complete. Magic is backwards, isn't it? Love it. The angels didn't write the music or present her with complete pieces, but after each performance and recording, she would wait a while and make further angelic contact to check that she was on the right path. It was a long journey rather than a few days of rushed recordings. I believe that one of the bravest decisions she made, which began with the first album, was to compose some music in real time, performing a ritual to establish contact with the archangels and letting them guide her. It was because of this that I believe that what you hear on both her albums is very close to hearing the music of angels. I consider this to be a breakthrough and one of the easiest ways to sense something beyond the ordinary that feels peaceful, safe, and beautiful. Listening to the music and doing nothing other than listen can give you some degree of angelic experience that is quite an achievement. I go back in my days in the church. I knew all the music worshipers, and from the associate pastor of worship, and the interesting thing was that there was people. Now there were people who just liked being in the choir, the band. We had it where there were guitars, electric guitars, drums, etc. But there were a number, particularly, I remember a woman named Anita. And when she would start playing the piano, she would get into a trance. And she said that she was talking with the Holy Spirit and many spirits as she was playing. And the music was very anointed. It was phenomenal. You see how you begin to put all the connections together later in life? So for me, this is really not that difficult to really go, well, I have a struggle with that stuff. I really do. Yeah. So I love this pictures too. Look at this. Oh, man. Doesn't that remind you of playing your soul? Really? Every one of us, I'm sure we have a soul sound. And I'm just going to skip through these in little pieces. I just want to kind of give you a little piece of each part. Music has been a part of the occult for countless centuries, and this has been noted by many academics, anthropologists, and occultists through the ages. The problem with writing about music is that it's like writing about food or wine. It can only ever tempt you to partake in the experience. Reading about music can be fascinating, but will never move you a way that listening can. This is not going to be a long book describing everything there is to know about music and magic. It is a taste of what I know about the way music can be used to interact with magic. I mean, we all know this. There are so many of you that have lived the same life I have, parallel lives, and many that are on a younger trajectory, but are living the same type. We know what music does. In my youth, because it sucked. One A, I mean, getting beat up, by a parent it just sucks. But that's what music drew me to. I played the clarinet and then learned and was trained on the bassoon, and then learned and played the flute. And the clarinet was an instrument that brought me a lot of joy when my body was physically hurting. I would play the clarinet and when I mastered the bassoon to the extent I was able to, that bassoon, man, woof, I mean, I believe I was opening portals back there as that young child of 10 and 11. Who knew? Anyway, so I want to continue to move on. So working with music. So we listen to music for many reasons, from entertainment to distraction, but many people already use music in a way that is slightly reminiscent of magical rituals. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, yeah. They use music to remember a feeling, to generate a wanted feeling, or to build an emotion that they can feel that can change the world. Most of the time, we just listen to music. It's no secret that music has an effect on the emotions, and it is quite well known that emotions are the engine of magic. It is also widely accepted that people have spontaneous spiritual experiences when listening to music. Hell, I travel back in time. I can be right at oh, you can. You know what I'm talking about. You're right back into that scene. And if you're really good at it, you can actually smell the smells. Oh man. So this is true. This is not hoodoo voodoo. This is the real thing. You may pass a church and hear a choir, and even if you are an agnostic for a moment, the sensation of that music can make you feel like you heard the call of God. It doesn't have to be religious music to make you have a spiritual experience. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mark Farmer, lead singer of yeah, now I'm going, yeah. Well, Grand Funk Railroad. And he left the band right at their really kind of their peak of popularity because the music drove him to a spiritual side. And he left the band and, got into religion, which was cool. He followed his path. There's nothing wrong with that. And you could tell where, people who are definitely musically inclined. That's why many of the great voices of the past, Presley, I can just think of a number of them. They all came out of Aretha Franklin, came out of choirs. Yeah. So Zanna wrote a blog post about working with her first album. We already talked about that. All right. Without direct focus. Zanna wrote, people tell me they put it on in the background while working, while resting, and when they just want an angelic atmosphere in the house. Even when guests are around and everybody is talking, this all works. You should find a listening of the mood and a warmth amongst people. If you do put it on in the background, sensitive people might be drawn to it. They may ask you, what is that? Or even seem disturbed because it's moving them in a deep level. That's why some people are repulsed about things like compassion, kindness, because they're hurting in the inside. And music can heal you. These angels can help heal you. He adds, I would add that Zuna's words by saying that when you first listen to music, you should listen to it all. Put it on while driving, walking, or doing whatever else, or sit down and listen to it. When I listen to the recordings of many of these angelic choirs, it brings tears to my eyes. It just naturally flows. That's just me. He says, I should put it out that the longest track, Archangels Rising, is designed for the most direct contact. So there you go. That's if you want one song, there's the one you want, Archangel Rising. And the musicality is there, but it is not as easy to listen to as the more melodramatic pieces. It can still be listened to in the background. I believe some familiarity with the music, no matter how casual, is better than none before moving into a more direct ritual. For many people, this will be enough. You listen to obtain a sense of beauty, or perhaps a feel of emotional healing or well-being, or just to connect to the angelic peace it can bring. If that is all you want from music, it will give you the sensation you seek. 2, relax and heal. Zanna wrote, when somebody is unwell, playing this music is said to bring a great sense of peace. This might not be true for somebody who has a headache, but I hear beautiful stories about people who have been settled into a peaceful state. She wrote this about an echo of angels. And I know it is true for that music, but I'm not so certain that all of the tracks on Opening to Archangels will have the same effect. The music is less dramatic and yet somehow more intense at times. There are tracks here that have a soothing, healing quality, and I'll let you work that out for yourself. With direct focus on music, Zanna writes, if you want to attempt to sense the presence of angels, you can do this without a specific angel in mind and without any form of ritual, prayer, or preparation. All you do is listen, keeping your mind gently free of thoughts. What she said here is true, and it works. I think that if you do nothing but sit with the music, the emotions you feel and the places those sensations take you are magical. But you can take it a bit further here. She says you don't need a specific angel to be in your mind, but that doesn't mean you can't use it to sense a specific angel. So you're not trying to make contact, but it's like getting closer, getting to know how the angel feels about you. You might know that you'll be doing a lot of work with Raphael, for example. So you read about Raphael. Get a good impression of the angel's qualities and the invocation and the evocation keys. And you consider all this while listening. This might lead to a very gradual sense of connection, but there can also be moments where the connection comes through quite strongly, and it's almost startling. Never be afraid, but just allow whatever happens to happen. Usually it's not all that dramatic, but if you remain patient, not trying too hard or straining to make contact, then the contact can be built. If you do it, like she says, without a specific angel in mind, you may sense many or just one. And if it's just one, it can be intriguing and informative trying to work out which angel has come through to you most strongly. This is cool. I think we've all experienced, particularly those of us, those of you who've worked with angels. It's quite interesting. And I have found this, when reading about the 72 angels, Al, I'm pretty sure you may have sensed this. There's some I just don't have any connection to. I mean, I respect them all, but, it's not lighting my fire, and apparently it's not lighting theirs either. I have found out they are emotional beings, and I have found them to be most gracious when it's amazing when you show them the smallest amount of respect and honor. And if you really show them respect and honor, they're going to reciprocate in kind. Apparently, not a lot of humans really appreciate, honor, or respect angels. But when they're in their time of transition, guess who's going to be there? They're faithful. And that's one thing I have found. They're faithful. Now I got this real sense that Ariel digs me. I do. I've worked with Poel, and that was cool. It's like, it's a friend. But this Ariel, man, I mean, there's this thing going on, It's like, yeah, I kind of dig the vibe, man. Yeah, apparently as well. Zanna writes, walk while walking. If you like music while you walk, this music can open your eyes to levels of beauty that you've never have noticed, and in the unlikely places. That would make sense. When contacting angels directly, Zanna wrote, if you use magic, prayer, or other methods to connect with angels, this music can help to build that mood for contact. So there's a very key thing in here. Obviously, your mood. If you're in a foul mood, it's probably not the right time to maybe make contact with certain angels, It's like, get the mood back, Put on some music. Get your magic working. That's why they call it the mojo, right? You can listen to one track that gets the emotions going for you, but then use one of the quieter tracks to meditate and to make room for angelic response. Or you might leave it playing the whole time. Sometimes listening to all the way through after you've attempted contact can work well. It helps the angelic presence to remain with you, which can be a very light and loving feeling, even though the music is sometimes more dramatic than light. So I talk about what I experienced. There was a time, and I'm probably going to start doing it again because this has activated something in my mind. When I needed to learn a subject, I would put it on where it would play all night in looping. Used to do it with the Bible. Yeah. Would go to sleep listening to the Bible playing. And, you know, it was playing the whole time I was asleep. It's a very powerful form of learning. It's dramatic. And I know that this type of magic works. And now I see how I could potentially open a connection. I love this. I like this book, huh? Yeah. All right. That's all good advice for using music and magic generally. What follows in the rest of the book is more direct way of using the music in a ritual context to enhance the sense of contact. But if you just want to use the magic the way Zanna suggests you can, you might play one favorite track before a ritual. You might listen to the whole album a few hours before your magic or right before. You might, whatever you want to do on here. I want to get into some more of the stuff. All right, the Archangel process. What I suggest here is a process that has worked for me, and there are no rules with this music. You can use it as you wish. If you want to follow the instructions exactly as I suggest, that is an excellent way to discover how music can work. You are free to try anything you like, and you may find it enhances your work when you are working with the archangels of magic. What you don't want is for the technology to get in the way of the magic. So find a way to create playlists or move from track to track easily so that you can work without being distracted by devices and so on. You can use headphones, but you may need to lower the volume when you want to hear your own voice. I prefer to play the music through speakers. You'll notice that the track order that I suggest doesn't always agree with the track order of the album because Zanna designed it first and foremost as something you can put on and listen to, being open to an angelic sensations, emotions, or ideas that occur to you. This is how it should be. All right. So the ritual opening. The ritual opening itself is performed during the first track, the presence of archangels. You can start with that straight away. Just play the track and perform the ritual opening. But if you feel that you want to settle into the magic more, becoming gradually attuned to the magic before actually starting the ritual, then begin by listening to the sensation of contact, opening the moment and anticipation and allowing first. You do not need to do anything other than listen and know that you are being opened to archangels, that you are hearing the sounds of angels, and that contact is inevitable and beautiful. You don't need to think about your ritual or your intentions, but try not to let your mind wander all over. Keep your attention on the possible sensation of angelic presence within and through the music. It says, when you are ready to perform the opening ritual, wait until the presence of archangels has been playing for about 30 seconds and then begin. You will almost certainly find this more moving than usual, but it's also possible that you'll find the music distracting. If so, you have the option to keep practicing. Try at it another time or leave the music out of the process. In most cases, you will certainly feel that it helps. So let's get into the sigil ritual. And if you want the book, send it to you. One of the best things about sigil rituals is that they are quick and you don't need to spend a lot of time preparing. So do be aware that if you add music, it lengthens the process slightly. If you find this improves results, it's something you can use. If not, leave it out. You will almost certainly find that it improves your overall sense of connection to the angels with the performing of the ritual. Begin by performing the ritual opening as described above. Now, I guess, did we get into it? I think I actually skipped over, but that's okay. You know, it's Friday. Let me see if I can do my speed. Well, I didn't actually see it in there. Maybe I just missed it. All right. If you look at the Sigil ritual summary, and that's in the back, you can start playing the Archangel's Rising just before it says gaze at the sigil. And then you continue with the ritual as usual. Unless you perform magic very slowly, you will complete the ritual long before the track ends. If that track does end, then continues in silence until you close the ritual. I certainly will be paying attention to this a little bit more. They have the talisman ritual, the circle of power, the advanced calling. Love this book. Ladder of ascent and the ritual of divination. So each one has a music track. I think that's really kind of cool. I'm going to have to try some of this. The ritual of evocation. For this ritual, I recommend that you begin by listening to the sensation of contact, opening the moment, anticipation, and allowing before you even open the ritual. Okay, I want to get to where the rituals actually are. Well, I think... Okay, we'll have to look at more of this. I don't have enough time as I'm looking at the time. But anyway, so that is just one take. I'm seeing what's going on. If you use it in conjunction with the rituals here, I'm getting it now. How many of you have actually done any of the rituals in the 72 angels, archangels of magic? You'll see it, yeah. You know the terms and you become very familiar with them, because I'm finding out that this is the term that you use all the time. And I'm getting better at it too. Koshu haram zalava anafa azrael. I practice on this stuff. It's kind of cool. And you know, when you read such words as Ara Raita, I mean, yeah, I love this stuff. I really do. Isby, you have to. Got to get you on, man. I know there's a lot of people want to get on here, and I am open for it. Those of you have just send me an email, and it may take me a little bit to get back to you, but I love it. Loretta says she just ordered the book. Yeah. Gaia, have you and Paul done some that's interesting? You know, Gaia, by the way, maybe saying a little stuff, they're very experienced remote viewers. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but anyway, we're family. Yeah. Cass says she's reading it today. Cass, I sent you the book because Lucky Stone says, I'm still in ritual 2 of day 7 of 33 in Wealth Magic. I love it. Lucky, I love you, man. I tell you what, so many of us are definitely brothers and sisters from different mothers or fathers. I'm not sure which. Angora Vibe says, I love these beans. Where can we find the music? Very quickly, I found it on Amazon, but there is a YouTube channel. So you can actually do that. She actually has her music up on YouTube. And let me just give you a taste of the first one that is spoken about here. As he pulls up here and he goes, all right, so this is Moments of Peace. This is Razel and Open to Angels. So this is the other one. And let's see if we can get this to pull up. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but so you can get an idea, and just check her out. Zanna, Zanna, Blasi, Blaise. You can see it's pretty intense. And this is, I think this is an echo of angels. So you can get an idea of the tracks on here. And, you know, let me tell you something else that I have found, and it's interesting. And let me pull this up. I've been experimenting with this a little bit because I wanted to see if it actually could work. But there is subliminal music that you can use. And if you use the subliminal, and I'm going to pull up one right here real quick. So this is, let me bring these up. So this is opening the third eye, and then this is prosperity and success. So let's listen to this one real quick. So I have found that just putting...
Warning. This title contains inaudible hypnotic suggestions, binaural beats, and subliminal messages. Do not use while driving or operating machinery.
So you can see that this is kind of a cool one too. I mean, and even right now, even though it's playing in the background, it's coming. So my point into all this is that it does work, and it seems to have an effect. Again, this is prosperity and success. This goes for about an hour or so. So I play this in the background. A lot of time when I'm actually working, I'll put this on the background. So it's just a suggestion. And what I find is that as it's reprogramming my superconscious mind, and this is what subliminal learning does, and it's proven, it does work, I can begin to think of the angels. I mean, if frequency and vibration is what we're talking about here, then this is on a higher level. So, all right. Yes, Sydney, that is who it is. Thank you. You put that up there. People are finding her. Yeah. So there you go, folks. This is something to add into your arsenal. I think it's kind of cool with our prosperity. I mean, I'm prosperous. The Soul Tribe's prosperous. We are prosperous. We're prospering together. And I expect it to be coming from sources, surprises. Ariel told me that she loves bringing in surprises. So I do, Al. I do. I really do. Yeah. They're talking telepathically. So I would say yes. All right. Thank you, Nina. Nina showed it is ZannaBlasi.com. So there you go. Gaia, we're going to get together. You and Paul and Lynn and I, we got to get the tribe together. This is just ridiculous. I have a sense that if this group ever gets together, holy crap, it's going to have like this psychic beam of light going up into light years away. I don't think so. I don't, Isby. I mean, I try to, on Amazon, you can buy the tracks for 99 cents and then the album wasn't that expensive. I think it was, like it's less than $7 or $8, but I don't think so. I don't think she would mind. We are prospectors. And she's the one who reveals hidden treasures. So John, spot on, brother, spot on. I have to imagine she doesn't mind. I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, this angel, I believe in these beings. So for me, for another person who doesn't, I would sound like a lunatic. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Your beliefs are no threat to my perspective. But this one reached out. So, when the idea of this second experiment came into manifestation, when it was created, the life form was obviously guided is the best thing I know what to do. Austin Space, much love to you. Great music. Yeah, hey, nothing like music. Have a great weekend. Martin, Heidi, by the way, I would love to show your pictures to everyone. They sent me pictures and connection. I mean, and the Tony, you're going to love Tony. Tony is someone who I'd let stay with me anytime. So just want to let y'all know that, it's like, yeah, Tony's really cool. Yeah. All right, everyone. Much love to you all. Have yourself a great weekend. I have got a huge project that I will be in. So be thinking good thoughts to me. I'm thinking that this project is only going to take a day or so. So just be putting out the thoughts for me. I've already contacted the angels that help on these things. When you have to do really important stuff. Yeah. Nina's show is on Sunday. She has left a link to the Discord. Tonight is the Andromeda 7 Celestial Gateway girls, guys. And then tomorrow night, Mr. Robert V over with the Milky Way Soul Tribe. And Big Al, we love you too. You and Perry both. Susie Q, all of you. Brian, so much love to you. Kaz, to you as well. Thank you all. You make my day. And even when it gets really kind of like, sucks, you guys and gals are the best, the absolute best. So thank you. It is an honor and an absolute privilege to be amongst such beautiful, beautiful spirit beings. So thank you. We'll see you on Monday. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.